Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's play some Citizen Sleeper 2, shall we? This is the first time I've ever played any Citizen Sleeper game, and at some point, depending on how I feel about this as I play it, I might play the first one, but I saw the second one was here on Xbox, PC Game Pass, and it looked intriguing and couldn't pass it up, so we're going to start a brand new game right here. Okay. And let's see, difficulty. Safe, risky, or dangerous. And we'll play on the intended difficulty. That sounds great. Alright, so looks like we can select some skills here. How many skill points do I have? Confirm class, I guess, is what I'm choosing. Do I want to be an operator? An extractor? A machinist. Okay. So my choices are to be a machinist, an operator, or a extractors. So let's think about what the different options provide. Let's just read the list here. So machinist sleepers are built to repair and modify automated systems used in corporate resource extraction. Machinists are very skilled engineers, but their isolated work means they often struggle with tasks requiring a direct approach or social engagement. Their focus skill allows them to focus on a single task and boost their dice to excel in it. Sleepers assigned to machinist work are usually diligent, careful, and structured people. Hermie, good evening. Good to see you. Okay, so I guess I've got some engineering stuff, and I'm bad at engaging altogether. I'm, an introvert, I suppose. The operator sleepers are built to work with drones and remote machines over local networks to perform corporate resource extraction from a distance. Operators have expertise in working with interfaces and computer systems, but are more physically fragile than other sleepers. Their reboot skill allows them to hack their own systems to re-roll dice, a risky but potentially powerful move. Sleepers assigned to operator work are usually cerebral and precise people. Okay. So, this is what the operator does. You can see their special ability, and they're not good at engineering. They're terrible at endure because they're fragile, but they're good at interfacing, intuition, and engagement. And then the extractor. Extractor sleepers are built to work at the coalface of corporate resource extraction, often in hard vacuum environments. Extractors have a high level of physical endurance, but their confidence means they struggle with tasks requiring intuition. Their rally skill allows them to motivate those in their team, boosting their crew dice. Sleepers assigned to extractor work are often confident, self-sufficient, and have a high level of endurance. Okay. So, I don't know, if this is the case or not, but it very well might be that Fading, good evening, good to see you. You get these other roles as well in your party. I like the machinist. You can focus on a task and boost your dice. We're not good at engaging, kind of loners, but we're good at engineering, so this seems cool. I guess if I wanted to look Holy Trinity, this would be like the healer, and then the DPS, and then the tank, like the paladin, but I don't know if that really applies, so I'm just going to try this. In the moment before waking, the dark space before conscious thought, you struggle to find the pieces of yourself. Tell me about it. Usually these pieces come with a particular cadence, each appearing sequentially like the boot process of an old terminal. First, your body, artificial, compromised, but relaying sense data all the same. Then it's context, the breeze of air filtration, the soft contact of your birth in 0G. Okay, so I'm some kind of robo-AI in space. Then emotion, coming into focus, coming into your body, bringing with it that first instinct, the one that has framed your past 100 cycles. Fear. Uh-oh. But that familiar sequence does not arrive. Instead, you are unmoored in space, your body distant, your context silent, even your emotions somehow obscured and scattered. Among all that disarray, only one familiar thing arrives, the fear. That's not good. I guess, Hermie, right? It is a scrambled, panicked fear, the drowning fear, the falling fear, the fear that makes you reach desperately for any stable point. It is the fear that tells you something is wrong, something is very wrong with you. Wake up, sleeper. The voice is whispered in your ear. An act makes you suddenly aware of your head pulsing in pain, your body rigid with tension. Sleeper, a familiar name, a mind copied, emulated, a body built, implanted, one person sleeping until their debt is worked away, their double being made to work, to be consumed, and eventually to be destroyed, a proxy, an emulation, a sleeper. That is what you are. Hey Sid, good evening my friend, good to see you. It kind of feels like Moon, you know, but in Moon I guess those are clones. I don't know if I'm a clone, I guess I'm just a robot that wakes up. But you escaped, you remember that now, broke free of your corporate creators. Oh, okay. A Senarp, in search of a future. You cannot remember the details of your escape, but you know the fear has been with you ever since. All of a sudden, you remember you have eyes, and your eyes flicker open. That's right, we've got eyeballs. There we go, we could see something. Pale eyes in a pale face. Lane. The name comes with its own specific sensation of fear, one you recoil from instinctively. Alex, good evening, good to see you. Sorry to interrupt, a sharp smirk, but this ends here. You search your mind for more than a name. Is this how you reward me for my generosity? Lane is leaning over your horizontal floating body, looking down into your eyes. I took you in, protected you, gave you a purpose. So, I mean, Lane has very interesting clothing. Looks like dragon tattoos all over, and it says relentless, cruel, and on your trail. You try to look away to the corners of your vision to find something you understand. Your body does not respond, but I suppose that wasn't enough. He reaches into the pocket of his jacket and retrieves a small vial. This wasn't enough. The vial glitters, the object you know and have known for a long time. Stabilizer, the drug that keeps your artificial body, your emulated mind from inevitable decay. The only balm for your planned obsolescence. The liquid rolling in the vial fills you with disgust. So, apparently, I'm some kind of created AI cyborg robot thing. And I'm woken up to do a job, but I'm meant to be disposable. And maybe I have a persistent AI across several bodies or something like that. I don't know how that works. But I have broken free of that cycle, and now I require this drug stabilizer to keep myself going. But it also is, you know, filling me with disgust, some kind of dependency problem. Lane pockets the vial, but it would be wasted on you now after what you've done to this body of yours. He looks at you with a palpable disgust. Lane's eyes scan your body, and as they do, you become aware of the wires and tubes attached to you, those that were meant to free you from your dependence, from the stabilizer and the control it grants Lane. They are free, you piece of crap. They don't need you anymore. The voice comes from somewhere behind Lane's head. It is a voice you know, but when you search your mind to try to understand why, you find only dizzying darkness. "Shut him up," Lane barks the command, and you hear sounds of impact, of pain, from elsewhere in the room. You try to move your limbs again, and this time you feel a flicker, the twitch of a finger. You feel the extension and compression of synthetic muscle. "Free, are you?" Lane smirks. "You were free when I disabled your tracker, when I gave you the stabilizer you needed." He scans your body with angry eyes. "Now you aren't free, you're just broken." "Hey, Chef Smitty, good evening, my friend. Good to see you." "I had such big plans for you, Sleeper. I invested in you." Lane grips your arm hard, and you feel a jolt of reaction. You will the arm to move, but you have ruined all that. Lane speaks louder, over the sound of your struggle behind him. "I will try to preserve your body, of course. I have my own uses for it, but your emulation?" You feel one of his hands searching behind your head. He finds and grips the thick cable running into the port at the base of your skull. "I will burn that out." "No, not my emulation." It also feels a bit, like Planescape Torment, I guess, with just like being reborn, having some memory issues. Lane jerks forward, slamming across your body, then spinning away out of sight. You feel yourself rolling, the cables plugged into your looping and wrapping around your limbs. Then, you feel hands steadying you, pulling cables. You glance around wildly and see someone diligently unplugging you. You meet his eyes. "This is my mysterious savior." "Hey." "Yeah, good call, Sid." He waves a hand in your dazed face. "We need to move. Lane won't be out long." He unloops a cable from around your wrist. "Sleeper, help me out here." You blink slowly. "Do you know this person?" He leans over you and you feel his hands on the connector, flicking switches, releasing locks. "Come on, come on, come on." He tugs the connector clear and pulls you up. You see the room you are in for the first time, filled with tech and terminals, wires waving everywhere, all lit by big windows looking out on an impossibly bright, screen-filled street beyond. In the corner you see the dark shape of a floating body surrounded by a glittering constellation of crimson baubles. Is that blood? Move. You are wrestled and shoved toward the door, which slides open in front of you, and then you are out in all that brightness, all that movement, gliding hard towards some unknown destination. You come to a stop in a dark alley, the one who guided you here pausing to catch his breath. He doubles over beside a massive life support unit that sends a lukewarm breeze across your skin. You stare at him, trying to recall anything about him. You notice his tattered jacket, his lightweight clothes. You remember the station runs hot, something about the power that flows through the place. He looks up and meets your eye. "I was wondering why nobody was wearing a shirt." "What's going on, Sleeper?" He wipes sweat from his forehead and it floats away in a swarm of spheres. "Talk to me." "Who are you?" You see a concerned frown cross his face. "Don't mess with me, Sleeper. That's not funny." He comes closer, eyeing you carefully. "What station are we on?" He narrows his eyes, waits for the answer. You close your eyes, trying to recall. You force your way through the dark to the image of a station. No, a city. growing on the back of a vast set of hexagonal solar cells shadowed by them. You open your eyes. Dark side. The word leaves your mouth like an exhale, an instinct. Before you heard yourself sound it out, you didn't know it was there. He sighs. And me? Who am I? You see something like fear in his eyes. Panic, perhaps. You stare hard at his face, the slight upturn of his mouth, the intensity of his stare. Nothing comes. He closes his eyes and drops his head, putting a hand to his temple. The reboot. He is speaking quietly to himself. Lane interrupted the process, and he lifts his head and stares at you. We need to keep going. We need to leave. He turns and kicks off down the alley. Come on, the rig can't be far. As you are led through the passages and serviceways of the station, you try to recall your life here. The texture, the temperature of Darkside feels familiar, but you struggle to pin specific memories to it. Focusing hard, you recall waking up in these passages, cycle after cycle, the rhythms of the station flowing over you along with the crowds. You recall desperation and the slow decay of your body that caused it. Then Lane, those pale eyes offering you a glittering vial. Stabilizer. You know, Sid, I'm not sure. I can't tell, I know there's RPG elements and there's dice rolling, but I don't know if it's just a long intro or if it is something more than that. The promise of supplying more of your work, a deal he locked you into, like a cage. There, your memory fails you, but in the dark beyond that moment, the residue of panic, of fear, remains. You were Lane's prisoner, Lane's plaything. You shudder in the cold passage. Wait. Your guide holds up a hand, and you stop your glide using the wall. Ahead, you see the tunnel opens up into a wide, open bay with a few doors leading to cylindrical tunnels, the docks. They're watching the rig. He nods toward the docks, and you see one of the doors has a couple of figures flanking it. One covered in ornate tattoos, the other with bright silver implants along their cheekbones. Atsubu, Lane's guys. He looks at you and shakes his head in frustration. All this, it's not coming back to you, is it? Something catches your eye and you see he's playing with a coin, nervously turning it over and over in his fingers. He sees you looking and slips it away. He places a hand on his chest. I'm Seraphin, all right? He looks pained when he speaks. Lane, he was our captor, both of us. We did this so we could escape. We needed to reboot you, to break your dependence on stabilizer. He pauses. You know what that is, right? You nod meekly. But Lane interrupted me back there. The reboot didn't complete, and he sighs, shakes his head. We could still make this work. He looks back at the docks. I'll lead them away. You get the docking bridge open. If we make it to the rig, I know how to get us in. Got that? He searches your face for a sign of recognition. What's the rig? Seraphin looks annoyed. A ship. Our ship. Or at least it soon will be. Lane assigned it to us when we were on jobs for him. Get that door open. He pats you on the shoulder. I know you can do this. Seraphin kicks off hard and glides into the docks. Over here. He bellows to the guards as he barrels through. They immediately push off from the wall, giving chase. Alright, you wait a breath, then glide across to the door they were guarding. You look already panicked. At the tightly sealed door, its control panel locked out. You hear a shout from somewhere nearby. You need to get it open. Alright, so here's something new. The tutorial. During scenes, you may encounter skill checks where you can perform certain actions using your skills, Like the dice actions you will encounter later, skill checks can have a positive, neutral, or negative outcome. The better the rating of your skill, the more likely you will succeed on a check. The odds of success are displayed when you select the check. You could see more info in the guide and the pause menu. Okay, so I guess it kind of has a point-and-click adventure like a Disco Elysium feel, maybe. So I can hack the door or I can break the seal. Now, I'm not as good at hacking as engineering. I have a lot of positive chance to do this because I picked Mechanist. So let's do this. I got a positive outcome. You shift the central access panel and wrench it open. It only takes a moment to understand the mechanism, and you reach in and snap the locking access, the door popping open with a hiss. Go on, Seraphim flies past you, through the doorway, into the docking tunnel. You turn to see the two guards approaching fast across the docks and quickly glide after Seraphim. Seraphim is already at the rig's door, inputting an entry code. The rig's door scissors open, and you both rush inside. Quickly, Seraphim grabs you by the arm and drags you up to the cockpit, the ship's layout hazy in your mind. He dumps you in a flight seat and straps himself into his own. You see him tap a series of buttons, and as he does, talking to himself, "Come on." The rig's drive rumbles into life, and Seraphim slams a button on the console. You feel the force of the ship's acceleration as it pulls away. There we go. Well, I mean, it looks like we made it. As the ship glides into place on the connecting bridge, its automatic systems nudge there by the port's docking protocols, you feel a sense of relief. Seraphim burned hard out of dark side, and you dropped in and out of consciousness in your seat as the rig made its way across the belt. But now, with open space between you and Lane, you feel fresher, more awake. Seraphim breaks the silence. "We're good, Sleeper." His eyes don't leave the monitor, and you realize this part of your escape is routine for him. You and he must have docked this ship countless times in your work for Lane. The problem is you don't remember any of them. "We made it," he whispers, closing his eyes and letting out a sigh. "We certainly did." He turns and you see a pained look on his face as if remembering something difficult. Have you said this exact thing to him before, in this same situation? "Are you okay?" He looks at you, chewing one side of his lip, searching your face. "Not really," he puffs. Seraphim reaches up, flicking through a set of switches in a practiced fashion, completing the shutdown. You watch, a little frustrated with your own uselessness. Running the rig, you realize, is just another thing you've forgotten. A clunk that runs through the walls of the ship is followed by a short percussive alarm tone from the pilot's console. Docking complete. Seraphim kicks off from his seat, twisting as he glides past you toward the back of the cockpit. His hands find the rails on either side of the door, and he pauses, facing into the corridor beyond. He turns back to you, backlit in the cold cyan. "We need a plan." He glances around. "Lane's not going to let us slip away quietly," he sighs. "We need to talk. We keep running, or we hide here. We need to talk." Seraphim furrows his brow. "Not now, Sleeper. We need to forget." He flinches, the words coming out wrong. "We need to focus on something other than..." He pauses again, unsure. "Us," he sighs. "We need to survive this thing first, then maybe we talk." "Fine by me." Seraphim nods, but the tension remains. "We've bought ourselves some time, rather." He glances through the cockpit window at the blinking lights of the station. You may not remember Hexport, but I do, and there are plenty of opportunities here for us. If we can keep our heads down. He turns back to the corridor. That's what we'll do. He pushes off and glides toward the main lock, and you follow, pulling yourself along, hand over hand in 0G. We already emptied the tank on this thing. He slaps a hand against the ship's insides, so we need to refuel, and that won't be cheap. But if you and I know one thing, Sleeper, it's how to work. So there's also a feel of this, like, Neuromancer, a little Cowboy Bebop thrown in too, just some interesting kind of, hacking mercenary work. I'm going to get myself reacquainted, see if I can turn up any old connections. Yeah, exactly, Sid. Just a little bit, right? People that might throw us an easy contract. He glances back over his shoulder. You keep out of trouble. Low profile. Got it. Seraphin stops at the airlock. Stopping to reboot halfway through, he pulls a worn crew jacket from a locker and starts pulling it on. We don't know what that did to you. He jams an arm into a sleeve. I don't want you passing out in. He stops. It'll take both of us. Seraphin sighs. I hate it when you're right. He grabs another crew jacket and thrusts it at you. Just put the damn hood up, will you? You take it and slip it on. Thank you. Seraphin nods. He stabs at the button to open the lock. The inner door hisses open, and Seraphin glides through. Wait for a little bit, then leave. Anyone looking for us will be looking for two people traveling together. He looks at you in your worn crew jacket, a limited disguise for what is clearly a sleeper. Hey Julian, what's up my friend? Thanks for subscribing. We meet back later. Any trouble? Same thing. Meet here. He surveys your disguise again and shakes his head. This is a crappy idea. He gives you one last look. Maybe find yourself something to eat. Suddenly you recognize Seraphin's instinct to look after you, a flash of a relationship now lost to the reboot. Catch, Seraphin throws a handful of something toward you. You manage to grab the projectiles, and when you open your hand, you see it's a stack of cryo chits. Those should get you some food. We'll need some more fuel and supplies, he grimaces. That means odd jobs on the station for both of us. Seraphin kicks off and glides down the docking bridge. Don't go too far, all right? He shouts as he leaves. Take it slow. And with that, he's gone, leaving the connecting bridge and heading into Hexport's docking concourse. You wait for a moment in silence. So I can do these three things. Let's try to think more about Seraphin. It's hard to know what's going on inside Seraphin's head. Here he is on some hapless escape plan with a friend who can't remember a thing about him. You try to imagine how close you both must have been for him to agree to this thing, but it's painful to think about. That's all gone now anyway. All you can do is move on. You shake the thoughts from your head and pull the jacket tight. Let's see what Hexport has to offer. You kick off and glide into port. Alright, so welcome to Citizen Sleeper 2 Starward Vector. I guess that was the extended introduction. This game runs in cycles during which you can perform actions with your dice. Use cryo to buy food, fuel, supplies, and items. Progress clocks toward new scenes and events. You can review tutorials at any time. Okay, so I'm using a controller, by the way. It just felt good. So I can I don't know, look at the whole station like this with the left stick, and I can go to the docks, I can go to the exchange, and that's pretty much it right now. Or I can go to the rig, but I don't need to go there. Let's go to the exchange, I guess. See what we can do here. In Citizen Sleeper 2, you perform actions by assigning action dice to them. The higher the dice you assign, the more likely you will succeed at an action. But your dice will be modified by your skill. Your skill modifier for the action is displayed on the right and will reduce or increase the value of the dice assigned to the action. Hey, Heathrun. Good evening, my friend. Thank you so much for 16 months. I appreciate that. Good to see you. Like skill checks, dice actions have 3 outcomes: positive, negative, and neutral. Each action is also rated safe, risky, or dangerous based on the outcomes it has. The more dangerous an action is, the more significant both its rewards and consequences are. For more information, check the guide. Yes, okay. So here's what we can do here. This is interesting. So I'm going to see, like, how many dice I get. What am I supposed to do with them? And try to learn some strategy, I suppose. So, let's see. Nice fading, exactly. 1 second, let me just see. Okay, just looking at some options. Fine, fair enough. Okay. I can trade scrap. Trading scrap is all about identifying materials and cleaning up components. It's an engineer's job more than a trader's. So this is dangerous, but I'm an engineer. Impress the brokers. This is an interfacing thing, which I'm not great at. Or the data brokers are the heart of the exchange. They show off their knowledge by discussing decryption. Maybe if you can talk the talk. And then the bottom one, the rules of the exchange, I can't even move to that one, so I'm assuming I can't do it. So even though this is dangerous, I can input a die, and I can use... I don't know, I have like different dice. A 1, 2 2s, and 2 5s. And maybe... I don't know, do I want to use a higher die? Let me see what's going on here. Okay, here we go. So... slotting a die into an action will display the probabilities of each outcome next to the die. So, the yellow dice, you see, are very good. It's like 50% positive, 50% neutral. So we probably want to use that for a dangerous check because it will eliminate the possibility of the bad consequences. However, these are rare. I don't have very many of these dice. Yeah, Sid, exactly, right? So let's actually go over here and put in this die. And looks like I got 100% positive. Engineer skill proficient. So maybe actually... Oh, you know what? I'm going to examine this really quickly. It looks like I get some boost because I'm an engineer. So let me see if I can actually put in... Like, if I put in this die, then... it's slightly better, but I think what happens is my engineer skill boosts the die by 1. So yeah, the 5 die becomes a 6. So it's a 100% positive outcome. I think we need a good break right here, so might as well use this die. Alright, so you just progressed a clock. Clocks track your progress toward both positive and negative events, and can be filled by performing actions or the passing of cycles. Okay, so I don't know if... Oh, maybe the clock is the rules of the exchange, the thing down below? But what was the outcome of that? Is there a log? Yeah, Hermie, that's what it looks like, and I did lock in success, but I missed... I was reading the thing about the clock, but I didn't see what I got. It looks like I got some cargo. Is that what I got? Like 2 cargo? Plus 2 cargo. Did I get any money? Or, I mean, supplies? Or, I don't know what I got. Oh, but I can now go to a different location. Let me see, where can I go? Welcome to the character screen. Oh, I see. Okay, Heathrun. Here you can upgrade and configure your sleeper. On the left, you can upgrade your skills to improve the skill modifier applied to your dice when you undertake an action. To the right, you can upgrade your push, the unique ability of your class. When upgrading your push, only one upgrade at each level can be active at once. Okay. So I don't have any points. I was just curious looking at that. Map is Y. Oh boy. I can go all over eventually. Goodness gracious. Okay. My rig is here. The rig is your ship and home in the Starward Belt. While the rig is docked at a hub, there are multiple areas you can visit. Okay, so I could go to the bunks to reduce my stress. I can go to the galley to use supplies to regain energy. I'm going to be honest, maybe it hasn't really appeared yet, but I don't know what my stress is and I don't know what my energy is. It might be one of the bars, one of the indicators on the UI that maybe it's not filled up, maybe I don't understand it, or maybe it will become apparent further in the game. But this is cool. This is where you go to kind of rest and recover. So there is a reason to go here. And you can give the crew actions as well. While the rig is docked, your crew will also help gather resources to contribute to the upkeep of the ship. You can choose which resources they should focus on in the crew task menu on the left. They have a random chance of acquiring it at the beginning of the following cycle. Okay, so this clock is a cycle clock. It's progress towards an event each cycle. Its completion will trigger significant events. So we're on the run, so this is how much time we have until Lane catches up with us, I guess. So right now, it looks like Seraphin is doing odd jobs to try to make us money, which seems fine. I'm okay with money. It really did, didn't it, Sid? Alright, I'm gonna go back. And the trading market, the exchange. Let's just see what's here. So I can buy supplies for cryo, but we need fuel. So fuel is 5. I can fill our fuel for 25 cryo. That actually looks okay. So I filled up our fuel. So that's good. I need some supplies though. So I'm going to need to do some more jobs to make money. So let's go back to the exchange. And I can keep doing this engineer job because, you know, I'm a good engineer. And then I can just guarantee it. So I got 7 cryo and ++ on the clock for rules of the exchange. So now this is open. And rules of the exchange is available. But what does this mean? The exchange buzzes with the conversation of commerce. This is a place where contracts are found. You just need to look. Okay. But both of these actions are now unavailable. Maybe what that means is, like, I can't just sit here and do these jobs anymore. Like, this area is closed. So we'll just leave. I thought maybe it meant that rules of the exchange would be a new encounter that would open up, but that doesn't look like what happened. Oh, we did discover a new location, though. Here it is. The canteen. Okay, what's this? Here you can eat in exchange for cryo. Eating gives you energy, stops you starving. Different food give different amounts of energy. Okay. So I don't know what my energy is. Like, here, let me see if I can just, no, okay. Well, I don't know if I even need energy at the moment. Let's just go to the docks and see what's going on here. Okay, so I can explore the docks, which are intuition, or I can chat to the crews. Oh, okay, Heathrun. So is it the yellow indicator under the dice, or is it the white indicator under the dice? Is my energy. I think it's probably the white bar. That makes sense. I couldn't click it, Hermie. I tried. Like, I tried to move around the controls there, but I couldn't select it. Okay, Heathrun, I think you're right. That makes sense. So let's see about... This is dangerous and takes intuition. This is dangerous and it's a 50-50. That looks awful. This is risky and I don't have engaged, so it actually lowers my chance, so it's also 50-50. Not good. Let me go back and I could go to the rig and just try to refresh my better dice. But let me go to the trade hall. No. I guess not, Herbie. You know what? Now that I'm seeing this, yeah, my that option for the exchange has just disappeared because I tapped it out, I think. So, I'm just going to go here and, you know, what else can I do, right? Like, I can do nothing, or I can try to do something. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Alright, so I failed on that check, but I can try it again. My energy is down really low. Alright, so we got double... We failed it twice, unfortunately, but I think we need to go here and eat. Alright, so I refilled a bunch of energy, at least. But now I have no money. So I need to figure out a way... Fading, that's a great question. I think what it meant was... You see down in the bottom center, that's the clock for the hexport area, and it filled up 2 segments, and not, yeah, I guess, a bad profile, Hermie. So I think what this means is, like, I only have a certain number of available actions here, and every time I do it, win or lose, I'm using up my what could happen. I only have a 1 left, and if I put the 1 in here, it's still, you know, it's not great. Okay, so... You need to end the cycle at your ship. Okay, so I failed every 50-50 right there, which is a shame, but that's the way it breaks. The bends, it's a chaotic bar. Oh, look, I could play Star and Stoker. I probably would have been better at that, but I didn't do a good job. End cycle, I guess. Okay. Oh, look at this, I got different dice. We're in trouble, Sleeper. Seraphin leans into the bunks as you're getting up. Without further explanation, he disappears down the corridor toward the rear of the ship. You drift out into the passage, pulling on your clothes and glide down the length of the rig, the cool air making you shiver. Seraphin is a silhouette silently leading the way. He stops at the far end, diverting through a side door, shooting you a glance as he does. You find Seraphin inside, holding one of a tangle of arm-thick tubes that are waving in the 0G engine room. You know what these are? No, tell me. These are the engine's feed lines. He waves one in the air, and before you ask, no, they aren't supposed to be waggling loose. What happened? These must have broken loose when we pushed the ship hard on our way out of Darkside. He looks at the mess. We're lucky the reserve tank is empty, otherwise, he shakes his head. It would have been bad. But he pushes the pipe to the side. No feed from the reserve tank means that the rig's range is limited to the local region only. He thumps the large lumpen housing of the engine. This thing can't take us anywhere far. So we fix it. That's the short of it, Seraphin sighs. Seraphin whacks the engine housing again, harder this time. Just not been our run of luck. He turns and starts gathering the tangled feed lines, his frustration evident in the violence of his movements. We'll need a new set of these, that's for sure. He starts forcing him into a crate. So how about you try to track him down? I'll take a look at things here and see if I can figure out another fix for the reserve tank. He glances up from his work. From what I've heard on Hexport, Factory Row is the place to find ship fitters. Maybe you can do some recon while I sort the place out. It's on the other end of the station. Okay, I'll take a look. Seraphin keeps working. Wait. Seraphin pauses, seemingly unsure. There's something else. Exactly, Hermie, right? We've got 2 1 dice. He drops the feed lines as they float, waving in the air like tubular seaweed. I've heard word that Lane's on the hunt, he frowns. A message went out everywhere in the local radius of Darkside. He's looking for us. And we can't leave. Exactly, Seraphin sighs, which is why we need those feed lines. I'm going to try to work something out. Maybe I can improvise a solution. I don't know, he looks down. I'm no ship fitter. But while I do, you go hunting. See what you can turn up, okay? He smiles a weak smile. Get going. You leave the engine room, the clanking sound of Seraphin's cleanup efforts echoing through the ship. Fuel feed lines. That's the next step. You take a deep breath and head out. Yikes. We're in a bad spot here. You discovered a drive. Drives help you keep track and choose your objectives in Citizen Sleeper 2. The arrow button in the top left opens the drive menu where you can choose which drive to track. Once a drive is tracked, a yellow marker will be placed above any location. So it's the quest marker. There's minor and major. On completion, a major drive rewards 2 upgrade points. Hey! And the minor rewards 1. Great! I think he would expect it. We gotta get out of here. Alright, so on the run cycle has improved by 1, and by improved I mean we're closer to death. So let's zoom out. The only drive we've got is the escape hexport, and we can tag it, and it is down there. Exactly, Sid. It's a tough one to say. Oh, I gotta close the drives thing, and then we can move around. So, let's go back to the exchange if we can. That's where I do my best work. Oh man, it's closed. But that's my best spot. Alright, well let's go to Factory Row. Let's use my good dice here. Now, you know what else I have? Let me go back. I have, like, my push, or whatever, my special ability. Oh, I need points to assign it. Okay. I'm just gonna eat the tubes right in front of Seraphin. No, I don't like Lane. He was trying to kill my emulation. Okay, let's go to Factory Row. And let's see. So I can search the row. I can haul materials. This is endurance. I stink at that. I'm okay, though, at searching the row. I could use, you know, a good die here. I don't know. I mean, I think you're right. Let me see about that, Hermie. Let me see if I could try that. I don't know if I have a baseline, because I'm pushing left stick and it's not doing anything. You see in the top center of the UI, there's all those empty circles. I think maybe those are filled up when I have push that I can use, is my guess, but I really don't know. So this is important. I could use my guaranteed die to get this, and, you know, that would be good. If I go over here, I think I have a minus because I have no skill. So it becomes much worse. It's weird, Hermie. It's like, it has to do with stress and dice. I'm going to go ahead and just use... I'm going to guarantee this. No, not this one. Yeah, well, it says right here, so accrue stress to focus an action die. So what this will do is I can give myself 1 stress to put +2 to a die. Actually, that's pretty good, but I don't know how to use it. Maybe, yeah, exactly. So, like, I can upgrade one of these dice that I got this cycle for a stress point. And maybe the top circles are actually stress, and I have 0 stress. Although, you would think, given how bad this situation is, I'd be at, like, 1,000 stress. But, let me see if... Let's check the guide. That's a great point. Drives, upgrade, and push. While on a contract, you can use your push ability once per cycle to give you an edge in a tricky situation. So maybe the push is not for these situations, but for different spots. So, Hermie, if I use the 5 die, that's the question, Fading. I can't tell if we're on a contract. It is a contract, so I'd have to take it. Or maybe it's not. Maybe the contract is something you do later with your spaceship when you're out in space, and it doesn't have to do with, these kind of things. Let me see if I can figure it out. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, Hermie. Yeah, it says contracts are high-risk missions that you take away from hubs. So it's not this, because this is at a hub. Okay, so I can't do any push here. All right, so let's go back here. Search the row. Like, if I use my 5 die, it's a 50-50. There's no negative outcome, I guess, so it's worth using. Yeah, I guess there's no negative, so let's go for it. Okay. So I don't think we did anything. I'll have to use my big one then. I've failed every 50-50 so far. It's a huge downgrade, right? Alright, so we got a new location. And we're ready to go. And this is the trusted supplier. This is engineer, which I'm good at. So Triple S is constantly processing scrap. They'll pay good money for raw hull plates. Okay. I don't know if I have raw scrap. Scrapyard shift would be sweet, except I used my good dice already. Like, I could use this, and because I'm proficient, it upgrades my die, which is, I think it's actually worth it. Because I have a good, God. This game hates me. It was only a 25% for negative. I have failed every check or gotten negative on every single one. Okay, well, I tried. I have terrible dice. Like, it's an interesting question of whether or not I should even use them. I'll go over here, though, and try to just finish this off. It's so bad. Oh, you know what? I guess I have to complete Trusted Supplier to finish this, but I only have ones. And now, I got neutral that time. So we locked it in. Factory Row howls as you glide through its cramped passages. Whatever its many bays and rooms once were, they now serve as containers for industry of every kind. Whirring manufactories precisely engineer components with rapidly shifting arms, while scrappers hammer incessantly at bent ship plates. So I did succeed on my first 50-50 there. Everywhere you look, there is energy and activity, and for good reason. Hexport itself is built on the derelict fragments of a solar reflector, and even the small amount of energy generated by its remaining mirrors is enough to power a city of machines. It is familiar to you, of course, in a strange, far-off way, because of Darkside. That place and your memories of it are a muddy haze, but it is hard to forget the glint of its hexagonal reflectors, 10 or 20 times more in number than Hexport's, and that wild, flickering city growing on their backs like a tumor. In comparison, Hexport feels provincial, but deep in Factory Row you could almost be back in Darkside. And then you see them, tubes, just like those Seraphin had waved in your face, the feed lines. You push over to the display window of the unit marked Karsten's Supply in block capitals cut from the hull plate. There, amongst an angled shelf of oversized ship components, sit the feed lines like some large biomechanical tangle of snakes. You slip inside, where the sound of Factory Row is a little screened, and spot a large figure working at a bench, hunched over, concentrating. It seems he doesn't notice you enter. Hello? A sharp eye glints as the figure looks over his shoulder. Can I help you? His accent is heavy, but unknown to you. Those feed lines. How much? There's a sharp clink as Karsten places his tools and the component against a magnetic plate on the wall. He turns with surprising grace and begins cleaning his hands on the cloth. Those sharp eyes scan you, but Karsten's thick-set features do not betray the results of his assessment. Custom built those for a client that never collected. He looks at his hands while he speaks, checking for stray oil stains. You have one of the old MEVs then. He sounds, or MEVs I guess, he sounds out the letters in a way you don't recognize as he speaks. You try to recall anything you know about your ship, but the memories elude you. Perhaps Seraphin should have come along. I'm just going to be like, yeah, I think so. Karsten squints a little. Right. Look, Karsten drifts over to where you are standing, his imposing height evident. For a fellow enthusiast like you, he continues in a distinctive monotone, let's say a few hundred cryo on clean chits. He shoots a glance at the feed lines. 400, let's say, to be precise. Yeah, Sid. Look, 400, and I haven't taken a clean chit in a long time, buddy. So I don't think we're going to be able to do this. I don't have 400. Karsten looks you up and down and sniffs. It's expensive, I know. It's a shame, but it's just what they're worth. He screws up his mouth a little into something that might be a smile. However, I'm more of the bartering type myself anyway. Barter sounds good? Karsten nods sagely. There's a little favor I need a crew for. Yeah, Would you take 7 and I'll throw in a fuel canister? And, well, you look like you might be a good fit. He tucks the cloth away in a pocket and clasps his hands. I know of an old Solheim wreck out there, very old, pre-collapse. It's tucked away in a dead zone, so no one's ever really cut it, he shrugs. Not only that, but Solheim derelicts have a habit of triggering nasty security protocols when approached by an unfamiliar ship, so it's been left well alone. But a salvager like you with an old Solheim rig, I bet it wouldn't even flinch if it saw you coming, he smiles. I have a special interest, a need for that old tech. All those Solheim ships had a data core, and while I don't care about the accounting reports or material ledgers or whatever they kept on the damn thing, I do care about the hardware. So, if I was to find you back here with that data core in your cargo hold, clean cut and complete, well then, I could see my way to doing a straight barter for those feed lines. Karsten pauses, sniffs at the air again. You just need the coordinates. Simple as that? Simple as that, he repeats in his monotone way. You interested? Because I'm a busy man. Yeah, I guess I'll do it. All right then. He holds out a heavy hand for you to shake, and as you automatically reach out, he grabs your forearm instead. Karsten pulls you closer, squeezing your arm. Let's keep this one between us, all right? He half smiles, his face huge and close. It's our deal. I know, Hermie. We've got the feed lines and the core, buddy. So, what do you want me to keep between us exactly? That you grabbed me by the forearm? I can't do that. I'm going to tell everyone in the row. Before you can respond, he thumbs a little drive into your palm. Those coordinates, and he lets your arm go with what you swear is a wink. Yeah, Sid, we're going to need a clean chit after this guy's embrace. He is, after all, an intimidating ship fitter. It's like when they were writing this game, they weren't obviously doing this, but it's funny, like, the amount of words that they give you that cause a kind of stumble. Yeah, exactly, Hermie. Like clean chits and ship fitter. Like, they're just asking for disaster with pronouncing these words. Ship fitters have clean chits when ship fitting for clean chits. It's like a tongue twister that gets you banned by YouTube's profanity detector. You turn and glide out of Karsten's supply with a growing mix of anxiety and excitement in the pit of your stomach and the cacophony of Factory Row in your ears. A contract. Seraphin might even be impressed. You look at the drive. Well, here's the contract we were just talking about. I can use my special power. This could be a route out. You think of leaving this place behind in possession of an improved ship, too. Suddenly, a small but firm hand falls on your back. An equally small voice coming with it. Hey, wait up. Junie. Exactly, Heathrud. You turn in the passage to see a young woman, her hair waving from the rapid glide she clearly just came out of to catch you. She steadies herself using your shoulder. Sorry, she smiles a quick and flat smile. Wanted to catch you. She so obviously just stole my coordinates, didn't she? Good one, Herbie. You know, I'm going to just be honest with this lady who's floating with her keyboard and shoes. If you can give me more dice, Junie, you're on the team. I'm Junie. Her dark eyes flick around nervously. You notice the portable terminal she carries, something data scrappers call a deck. Yeah, she's a net deck. We need some hacking, and her backpack full of components and trailing wires. Do I know you? She pauses, confused by the question. No, she pauses again. Karsten, she starts, still catching her breath. He sent me to grab you. She smiles, that flat smile again, wants me to come with you on that job. You're lying to my face. Her eyes shoot down to the drive in the palm of your hand. She smiles again. Are you sure? That's what he said. Carson's always sending me on things like this. I guess he wants me to help you out. Keep an eye on things, she pauses. I could be pretty helpful. So, she looks around the passage. Should I meet you at your ship? And you could tell me when you're ready to go? So I'm going to be honest. Karsten probably didn't tell her to do what she's doing. But I don't think she's with Lane, judging by the, sticker she has on her little keyboard there. And I'm not good at hacking. I don't know how you can get more dice, Sid. Was praying that, at least in skill checks, like she would be able to cover some of my weaknesses, because there are certain skills that I don't have. So if she can do that, I just take her aboard anyway. So I'm not sure. She looks nervous. Sure, you aren't sure when you're leaving? I'm not sure you're coming. She pauses, thinking. Karsten said I need to go. She glances back at the shop's direction. And he gets pretty mad when people don't do what he asks, she shrugs. Let's see. Okay, she glances around. Karsten doesn't like waiting, but it's up to you. Junie pushes off and waves. Looking forward to working with you, she calls back as an afterthought. What about the ship? Oh, I'll find it, she calls back and then disappears down the passage. You let her go, glad of the contract but nervous too. Will Karsten keep up his side of the bargain if you deliver? Well, I didn't get a chance to actually verify with Karsten that she's in. But that's okay. I don't know about this, Sleeper. Seraphin looks nervously out of the rig's windows as you finish explaining Karsten's deal, as well as Junie's offer of help. If this job was easy, Karsten would have done it himself already. That means there's a catch. He frowns at the stars. And there's definitely something going on with this Junie girl. He shakes his head. What choice do we have? What if, Seraphin narrows his eyes, we could get the cryo together to buy the feed lines? Is that even possible? I found a contract board at the exchange further in station. He gestures toward Hexport. We take on a job that might get us some of the way toward buying those feed lines. Plus, even if we do want to take Karsten's job, a little bit of money to get ourselves prepared wouldn't be a bad idea. Hermie, that's exactly what I thought too. But I think we just run with it. Fill up on fuel, supplies, be ready for whatever comes. Do we have time? Probably not, but without cryo for fuel and supplies, we aren't going anywhere. Seraphin sighs. Just take a look at the contract board, see what you think. While you're at it, you might want to see if you could scare up a freelance crew, too. Many hands make light work and all that. Or we stop messing around, we take Karsten's job right now and get it done before he could think twice. Seraphin yawns. Seems like a whole set of bad options to me. Either way, I've still got work to do on the drive. Seraphin nods a farewell, heading back to the engine room. Let me know what you decide. For a moment you pause, letting the haze of plans and ideas settle in your mind. Suddenly you curl up, pain shooting along your spine. You grit your teeth, your muscles lock tight. Your vision narrows as you squeeze your eyes shut. You feel a shift, as if some connection has broken. It's almost impossible to describe. Like you're floating away from your body, dispersing, dissolving. There's nothing familiar in the pain, nothing to hold on to. You grit your teeth, and then another shift comes and you're back in your body, trembling against the metal wall of the passage. The pain slowly fades, becoming a pulsing throb, and then a residual flicker. You flex in 0G, stretching out the tension. There's a strange sensation of distance that persists beyond the pain, a disconnection between your body and yourself, a flickering numbness that refuses to recede. You wonder if the reboot has done something to your body or if this is some new sensation you'll have to live with indefinitely. It strikes you that you know so little about the body that houses you. It could be moments away from collapse, or it might persevere for countless cycles like this. You try to shake off the feeling, pushing your hands against each other until they feel like they're yours again. Time is the only thing you need, and right now, it feels like it's running out fast. You head for the airlock. You have work to do. We do. So, you have a contract. Open the map to view it. Okay? So, contracts are high-risk, high-reward jobs that you and your crew can take on. Contracts require preparation and care to succeed. You need to get enough fuel to travel, which we did. Get as many supplies as you can afford to keep you and your crew going. Look for opportunities to recruit crew, temporarily or permanently, to help you on a contract. Consider which crew to take carefully. They have different skills and stress resistances, and who you choose can affect the story. Once you're ready, you can select a contract from the map and then your crew to proceed. Hilarious. Sid, that's a good point, my friend. That was a fun one. I tell you what, I'm not good at any of this stuff, and I really feel like I need to prepare well before I just dive out there to go do that. So let's say we can recruit a local crew, and let's go ahead and toggle this one. I don't have any dice left. Where is the local crew? They're over here. Let's see. Is that really hard? Well, I could chat to crews. But that's not good. I don't have a good die for that. Alright, let's look at the contracts. I want to go... Here we go, contract board. So this one says I can buy this for 10. I don't have enough money to even buy this contract, but they'll give me 200 cryo if I get it. So I think we have to go to sleep. Like, I just can't do any of these. This die that I have is basically useless. I mean, it's so bad. Yeah, we gotta leave. We just gotta pretend like we don't... Let's go to the rig. Let's end the cycle. Oh, wait, I also have, what is this? Rig engine. Oh, right. I can't fix the feed lines. I'm not strong enough. Make a meal. I don't need a meal. So this will help you reduce your stress when not on a contract. Oh, and maybe it looks like you can keep a die for tomorrow. I gotta tell you what, I certainly don't want to keep that one, so we're just gonna end the cycle. It's the worst die I've ever seen. Hey, look, we have a much better day here. I'm starving. Pretty much, Hermie, right? My dice are so bad that, let's see, let's keep getting cryo. I could see if they could find supplies. I mean, that's also good. Alright, let's go to try to get some crew members. I think it's a good idea. Jeez. Yeah, supplies are 2 of 5. I mean, even chat to crews is awful. I think all I have to do is just pass time on the connections. Let's explore the docks. I have a good die for this. I know, right? Okay, so we maxed this out, so I think we can find a crew member. As you're gliding across the docking concourse, you hear a scuffle. The noise of raised voices cuts through the conversation drifting out of the dockside shops. Glancing down an alley, you see a huddle of figures shouting back and forth. You spot one man in the middle of the group, surrounded, pushing the others back as they grab at the bags slung over his shoulder. You don't like the way he looks, but then again, Seraphin told you to keep your head down. I could cause a distraction. I can rush in. I'm bad at both of these things, unfortunately. I wish I was better. Does that count? Alright, so neutral passes the check, so I did cause a distraction. You look around for something that could break up the fight, and see the thick cooling pipes running down the alley wall. You quickly try to understand the system and choose a valve to start spinning. As you do, the system begins to vent in sequence down the alley, violent jets randomly bursting into the air. There's a scramble in the alley, and you spot the figure who is being attacked drop down to the alley floor. Then your vision instantly fills with pale liquid as a jet of coolant jumps out nearby, missing you, but sending you spinning in 0G. Well, that's not good. After a few moments, you manage to steady yourself. As you do, you see a clear alley, the assailants having fled with one figure gliding toward you. It's Femi, stubborn salvager captain. Alright, cool. I suppose you think that was clever. The man gives you a severe look. You like to break up fights you didn't start, he laughs. Belt's gonna eat you up. He shifts the large bags on his shoulder, weightless but unwieldy in 0G. I was helping. The man laughs. Well, he shakes his head. Thanks, I guess. He kicks off and drifts past you. You watch the man go, and then after a moment he stops and turns back. He rubs his forehead, looking down as he does. What is your deal anyway, he sighs. Maybe you're new here, but Hexport's no place for do-gooders. I need help. The man raises his eyebrows. So you look for trouble? He shakes his head. You've got it all wrong. Look, let's not hang around, all right? The man pats his chest. I'm Femi. He unshoulders one of the bags and pushes it towards you. Make yourself useful. Let's head. You get the strap of the bag over your shoulders and follow him through the docks, gliding past the concourse toward the connecting bridges. He cuts down the side passage, looking back to check you're following. Then he stops at the docking bridge, connecting to a dull green ship with yellow markings. You look out the viewing window at its odd catamaran-like shape, seemingly built from two separate hulls welded together. Symbol crash, he says, and you assume that's the ship's name. Femi, you bringing in strays, says Nia, the headstrong and spirited salvager. A young woman brightly dressed and stretching as she glides drifts into the passage. She glances at you. No offense. Nia, Femi shakes his head. This one, he squeezes your shoulder, helped me fend off some Hexport scum while you were busy sunning yourself. Nia raises an eyebrow. I'm sure you could handle them, big brother. Her glib response hides the flash of concern that passes across her face. You can't tell if Femi noticed. Nia turns to you. Thanks, she smiles sweetly, and I'm sorry for my brother. She shoots him a glance, just in general. Nia, Femi murmurs, enough now. He reaches over and takes the bag you were carrying. Nia rolls her eyes at you, but stays silent. Factory Row wouldn't take these. Femi hefts the bags. I'm gonna load 'em back up. Maybe we'll find a use for 'em. He turns back to you. Thanks for the assist, Sleeper. He nods firmly. No, not what I expected. He slaps the button for the bridge door and kicks off along the docking bridge on his way to the symbol crash. Nia looks at you with raised eyebrows. I hope my brother was joking, or did you really help him? I tried. Thank you, she looks back at the ship. My brother needs help more than he admits. It's okay. She pauses, thinking. I want to ask you something. She takes a deep breath and gives you a direct look. What is she building up to? Are you looking for a crew? She looks away. Sorry to be direct, but you seem like, well, if you're on Hexport, maybe you're with a crew. She stops herself. I mean, maybe your crew needs crew. Maybe you are looking. I am. She struggles to hide her smile. Neil looks back at the ship, then at you. Look, I'll be honest, being on a crew with my brother is nice, but he is suffocating me. She frowns at her own bluntness. I'm not a kid anymore, you know, but he still sees me like one. She shrugs. I want to show him I can handle myself. I need experience. I need to run some contracts. She gives you a determined look. What do you say? I'll think about it. I'm a good salvager, all right. You can use me, she smiles. I can spot things, find gaps, weighs in. She folds her arms across her chest. I know what I'm doing. Femi taught me well. I know, Hermie. I was thinking the same thing. Looks like their ship is working. Now she wants away from Big Bro. She glances back at the ship. Just consider it, all right? Let me prove myself. Suddenly a shout comes from the ship, echoing down the passage. Femi, he makes both of you nervous. Nia looks in his direction. I should go. She pushes off toward the docking bridge. I'll be waiting. I was thinking more like, Hermie, you can join us, but since we're doing you a favor, it's going to cost you 400 credits. 400 clean chits, to be exact. Nia gives you one last glance as she departs, then disappears into the docking bridge, leaving you alone in the passage. Alright, well, we got crew available. Hey, we completed a quest, so we got a skill point. So I could put the skill point, oh, okay, so to raise any of these skills, it would cost 4. And then, obviously, to raise these up, it would cost 1. Okay. Well, I've got some good dice. Endurance. What else you got? I need a job that's not endure. Let's take this one. I bought it. So the scrapyard shift, I'm actually an engineer, so I'm good at this, so I could use something like this. Alright, we got 12 money. Let's just keep doing these scrapyard shifts. There's no timer here, there's no clock. Bam! Let's make some money. And then if I go here, I could actually use a 2. It's okay. Aw, man. You're starving. Alright, so I gotta go eat. I had the 25% chance negative and I got it. I'm so bad at that, but that's okay. I'll eat. I'm fine. I'm gonna try it again. No, not that one. Yeah. Do this. I mean, it's rigged. I have a 50% chance for neutral, 25% chance for success, and only so 75% is neutral or above. And I've failed this. Like, any time it's not a guarantee. That's not true. That's not true. On the 4, which became a 5, I did get positive instead of neutral. But if failure is an option, I get it every single time. That's too bad. Okay, so let's go ahead then and... Nah, I don't want to do that. How do I get the crew? Let's do this one. I know, Hermie. I'll tell you where it's going to fall apart. Okay. Just let me get my dice out, Hermie. They'll find it for you. I guess we end the cycle. I don't know how to go into contract. I want to... Yeah. Oh, I could just do it now. Okay. This costs 2 fuel. It's risky. But the question is, do I actually have my crew? Like, is she going to join me? Or do I need to talk to her further? I don't even see a place to talk to her further, to be honest. And there's nothing on the board about it. Yeah, she'll come with me. Okay, no, she will. All right, let's go to it then. Let's try this. All right, so I can use these people. Junie is apparently not available, but Nia is. I can't... Alright, so he's on there. Alright, we got it. Let's go. It's a drone. Seraphim spots the signal source first, the light barely shimmering off its dark hull plating, a design trait that betrays its covert use. A flash catches your attention, and you see a rent in the hull through which red lights pulse. Wounded, Seraphim shakes his head. Wish they'd finished the job. You've seen one before? Seraphim looks back over his shoulder towards you. We've seen one before, don't you? Sorry, I know it's not your fault. He looks at the drone. Lane had us work on one in Darkside Bay, though it was barely a shell. Disarmed and deactivated, he had us searching through its guts for salvage. Even that one gave me the creeps, and it had its core ripped out. He pushes the ship closer. This one is still live. Conway, Nia kisses her teeth. Corporate scum. You glance over at her and see the fire in her bright eyes. They don't even dare to come here and force us out themselves. It's all proxies and drones. She shakes her head. Typical core-bred cowards. Run into them before? She glances at you. You might say that. She looks out at the drone. You won't see me taking my eyes off that thing for a second. Seraphim carefully guides it closer. You watch the drone. System is full of these things now, running missions for their operators. Rare to see one out in the belt, though. Maybe got hit during a run-in with Senate Stat Mercs. Senate Stat Mercs. It looks like it's drifting. Most of the system's blown out, but look there. He jabs a finger toward a red light on the far side of the drone. It's still broadcasting, and maybe even receiving. Can it attack us? Unlikely, Seraphim smiles. Would have blasted us already if it could. Comforting, Nia looks nervous. Seraphim brings you even closer. What I remember from the Darkside job is that the central core and the broadcast array need to be shut off to kill these things. core will turn off local systems, and the broadcast array will sever the link with the Conway operators, Seraphim swallows, but you can bet those systems are protected. Let him explain. Your attention is suddenly drawn by a shudder from the drone, like a tremor running along its length. The thing is rigged to blow, Sleeper, he frowns. We go slow and careful, and we don't touch anything we don't know about. He turns his back to Nia. You hear that? I got you. She looks sincere. Seraphim brings the rig to a stop close enough for you to cross through open space to reach the drone's hull. Let's suit up. You head down to the airlock to prepare. As you get suited up, you think of the corporate war taking place in the inner system, the war that this drone was driven from. Out here, on the shore of conflict, the biggest danger is that this flotsam and jetsam drifting in with the tides and orbits of the system might, one cycle, bring the war with it. For now, the belt is outside of its reach, but looking out at the red pulsing drone, that doesn't give you much comfort. Welcome to your first contract. While on a contract, you'll be able to assign 2 dice for each crew member as you would assign your own dice. Pay attention to the crew's skills to use them effectively. On certain outcomes, crew will take crew stress. When their stress is full, you'll no longer be able to use them to perform actions. While on a contract, your energy bar will automatically be supplied for each cycle that you have supplies. Uh-oh. When your supplies are depleted, both you and your crew will take 1 stress per cycle. Contracts also have their own contract stress. When this bar is filled, the contract will fail. Okay. Alright, so, let's see, there's hull damage, there's the rig, and there is the access hatch. So, I guess we go in here. What does this say? So, these are the skills required, and you can see who has each skill. We have a plus. Nia is good at this. Identify route. It might be possible to slip through the gap in the drone's damaged hull, but once inside, where to go, how to find the broadcast array, or I could create an opening. I think she can do this, and I give her... She has her own dice. And it's 100% positive, because it's a intuition die. So let's do it. Get in there. Alright, so she got in there pretty slick, right, Sleeper? Indeed. But I guess we have to fill this thing up. And that gave me +2. But I'm not great. I can create an opening, though. Which will give, what, +1 or something like that? The only person I have that's good at this is Seraphim. But it's only risky, so... put me to work. Go. Get it. Oh my god. That was another 75% success, 25% fail that I failed. Man. I'm so unlucky. Okay. There we go. Alright. Oh, that was actually +2. Now, my dice are terrible at this. We did it. I finally got a pass on a 75% pass, and she actually did positive. So we actually filled halfway up on this. So I have to say good job to her for that. Thank you so much. So now in the future, I would know that I should buy full supplies before I come on a contract so that I can refresh my dice more often. I should just keep pushing at this one because I'm doing well here. I do have... This is okay, but it's dangerous, so Let's just go ahead and do a 5. All right. And then we can do our 6. We're almost there. I'm going to try it. Okay. You've gained some stress. As your stress increases, you'll have a higher chance of taking damage to your action dice each time you roll them. Oh, I can use my push. I could use my push to boost up my die for the last outcome to guarantee it. And we got it. I think I got it. I don't know. It didn't give me the stress. I guess it did. Maybe I didn't use my... I thought I used my push, but now we finished it. So that looks like it's done. You hear the bleeping immediately. Among the chambers and cabling of the drone's interior, something started counting down. Guys? Nia's voice comes hissing through the suit comms channel. Does anyone else hear that? Because I'm getting nervous. Crap, Seraphin's voice joined her. This is what I was worried about. Are we screwed? I can't be sure. Seraphin has dropped his voice to a whisper, as if that might make a difference. Either this thing's about to send out a distress call, or it's about to blow. We've got to shut the system down fast, he pauses. Then we move to the other side, because I bet you there's a surprise waiting for us there too. We good? Nia sounds tense. Am I heading back to the ship, or what? Maybe you're right, Hermie. Seraphin cuts in. Shit, that's right, Sid. We're good. We keep going. He shuts off the channel. You take a moment in the silence. All right, time to deal with this fast. The problem is I need to rest or use supplies. Then get over to the other side before something happens. So we're on the clock. I just have no dice. Okay, now I used it, and I did get a stress, but I made my lowest die +2. I gave it a 5. So we're going to use this here and try to hack the broadcast, I guess? All right, so we got +2, so we're very close. You can use your push ability. Okay, right. So this, we actually did it before they explained it. I'm going to have to use my supplies. I have no dice left at all. I hope this thing doesn't explode. It wouldn't seem fair if it did explode. Okay, good. So the clock on this thing, when he says we need to work fast, it's 3 cycles. So it does say cycle clock. So I'm just learning the game. But I was like, am I going to lose? Because like when somebody says we need to work fast and I go sleep for 8 hours, it feels bad, but actually it's fine. Okay, so all we need to do is just crack this. And I have a guarantee with this one. I'm going to use a lower die, though. I'm going to try to save my guarantee. This is probably a bad play. We got it. We disabled the array. Okay, perfect. So now, we need to go to the other side, the access hatch. And let's see, there's a... Which skills am I the best at? The engineer is good at releasing the hatch, but... Man, my team stinks at this. They're terrible at all of these skills. This is all me. I have to basically do this exclusively. So... I guess I use this die here, 100%. I got +3. That's a 75. I still need to use the 75, regardless. Excellent. I got another +3. Woof. Alright, getting lucky. Sid, that is my stress. So that red dot is my stress that I got from failing a check, I think. I'm going to use my push to boost this die. Aw, man. I did, Hermie, and I still failed, though. I had 75 and I failed. I can't do any more here. This is a shame because, like, these people are so bad at this that even my 6 means that this is only a 75%er. Okay, he did it, though. The problem is the drone stress. Like, I don't even know if it's worth it. I wish I could do some other activities. I know, Hermie, I'm thinking about it, right? I think it's still a 75% positive outcome. It's still probably worth it because I'm so low on supplies. But if we fail this one, I can't do anything else. Like, I would have to, okay, great. I think now we, well, what does my 2 make this? I still don't want to risk it. I'm going to go rest. You've taken damage to a dice because of stress. Oh, I see that. When your dice are rolled at the start of the cycle, stresses dictate if you take damage or not. Higher stress means a higher chance of damage. The white markers above the stress bar... Oh, I see you. I see that. Tell you which numbers will damage your dice when rolled. Okay. So the 1 is bad. Each dice has 3 dice health. When this is depleted, the die will break and it must be repaired to be used normally. Typically, broken dice cannot be used, however, on a safe difficulty they can and are counted as a 1. If you have many broken dice and feel stuck, consider switching to safe in the pause menu to give yourself a chance to recover. I see, so you lower the difficulty. Yeah, pretty much, right, Sid? Okay. So we got to go back out there and just not use that die. But we got exactly what we need. Like, this 5 becomes a 6, 100%, and we get it. So we release the hatch, and we go out. And then new location discovered, which is here. This is, we need to disconnect the backup. Aaron, what's up, my friend? Thank you for subscribing. And Nia is actually really good at this. So she gets a plus, so her 4 becomes a 5. She did it. And then we'll just use her 6 and get out of here. Alright, now the core is disabled and the drone is killed. I think we got it. The thrumming, pulsing interior of the drone goes still for the first time since you boarded it. You look across at Seraphin and Nia and share a smile. You all exhale so loudly it can be heard over the suit's shared comm channel. The drone is dead. One last piece of Conway chit to worry about, Nia grins. We killed it. Don't get too excited, Seraphin cuts in. It was looking pretty rough when we got here. You make your way back to the hull, the drone now faintly rolling in one direction, its stabilizers offline. Nia catches up with you as you glide toward the rig. We make a pretty good crew, Sleeper. We do. Nia grins widely. She punches you on the arm, playfully. My character is killed. You reach the rig's airlock and take one last look at the drone's dark hull. It catches the light as it rolls into the vacuum. At some point in the near future, this drone will likely be smashed to pieces by one of the many asteroids of the belt spread across this place as twinkling dust. The thought pleases you, as does the thought of all that cryo Hexport now owes you. Time to go collect. You're darn right. All right. The contract is concluded. You can leave the map. Yeah, Sid, that's a good analogy. You can now travel back to the hub. Once you leave, you'll not be able to return. Okay. -5 stress during travel. All right, yeah, go back. That means our stress goes away because we're just chilling? Yeah, it did. Stress is gone, but my die is still busted. Oh, because we're starving. Well, maybe that's why. After docking at Hexport, Seraphin lets go of the controls and leans back in his chair. Nia leans over to you. Thanks, Sleeper, she stretches. I know you took a chance on me. So, Nia, do you think there's going to be a time when you're not upside down when I talk to you? Like, how many chits am I going to have to give you to float right side up? Glad to have you. Nia smiles, an infectious smile. Feels good to make a contract work, Seraphin smiles, no matter how we pull it off. It's hard not to agree, and it feels better when the Hexport courier comes with a lockbox full of chits. All right, we got a whole bunch of chits in this box. Lane may still be hunting you, but this should help us the effort to slip his net. Suddenly you hear a familiar voice. Nia! Femi glides into view, approaching from the docks. He fixes you with a stare. What are you playing at, Sleeper? Yeah, I am too, Hermie. You'd think in the belt that they would get something, you know, like pay chit, but they don't. They just have physical chits. Nia wanted to come. You go to speak, but Nia drifts forward, cutting you off. Don't come throwing your weight around, Femi. I can make my own decisions. She glances back at you. Sleeper took me at my word, and I'm grateful. Femi is fuming. Did they now? He turns to you. Well, if you're working for Sleeper, I hope they paid you well. Nia looks away. Well, I asked, so... Femi smiles. Oh, so they aren't paying you. Seraphin crosses his arms. Let's keep this civil. You realize this is the first time he is meeting Femi. If we're being civil, seems like Nia is owed her share. Femi fixes you with a severe look. Yeah, sure. Pay her share. You grab around a quarter of the chits from the lockbox and hold them out to Nia. She takes them sheepishly. All right then, Femi smiles. We're good here. He turns to leave. Nia mouths a sorry and follows Femi across the dock. Seraphin watches them go. You sure know how to pick 'em, Sleeper. He shakes his head. Oh, you're gonna get the double entendres, you know, till the cow patty chits come home. He turns away and heads back along the docking bridge. I just hope we aren't going to end up a stack of cryo short when we need to get out of here. We will. You've just completed a drive and earned an upgrade point. You have push upgrades available. Go to the character screen to the right UI to see them. Right. So, wow, look at this. I could reduce the stress, or I could give myself a +1 to the affected die. Honestly, I like +1. I'm so bad that I really like locking it in, more than reducing the stress, but the stress does damage the die, so maybe that's helpful too. Yeah, Hermie, exactly, right? Exactly, Hermie. I'm seeing how the risk has treated me, like I'm a stack the deck kind of person. So I'm gonna get that. Now next time though, I could take -1 and kind of balance it. I could go real crazy though and go +1 again if I really want to just make it, lock in. Let's see if I can get some food, and then I have a bunch of money now. 171 to be precise. I'm going to fill my supplies, and now our supplies are filled up. And then I'm going to fill our fuel up as well. So now we're full on fuel and supplies. And then let's go down and go to the restaurant here. I need to eat. I'm starving. Lay off me. I'm starving. Okay. So I am no longer starving. But I don't know how to repair that die. Who has that ability? It's not done here. There's no contracts. Buy a Ben's fry. I could gamble. Endurance is not my strong suit at all. I'm -2. Gambling, I'm just 0. I do my best work down here at the scrap soul. I don't know where you get this raw scrap. Maybe you're right, Hermie. That might make more sense. But I'll tell you what, while I've got the chance, might as well use this. Might as well get as much cash as we can, right? I'm doing scrapyard shifts. And man, am I glad about it. I had some really good dice this time. Yeah, we made a bunch of cash. This one I could just do... it's the same. I didn't want to risk it. Let's go to our ship. Buy bunks, or the bunks is where you, like... Sometimes it's necessary to rest. This reduces stress, but I'm fine on stress. This is where you eat. No. I like the ambient space music, I'll tell you that much. Bad job for me. Let's go ahead and risk it on gambling. It's always a good idea. Hey, we made $5 on neutral. I'll take it. What is this clock that's around? Is that how long I have to wait before I can move again? I wonder if I could just go on this mission. I have everything I need. Yeah, this is my on-the-run clock. So I do have some time that I could spend here if I wanted to make more money. Yeah, you're right, Hermie. But the issue, I was wondering if it was like my ship cooldown, you know, like before I could fly again. The issue I'm having is, there's not much like else for me to buy. It's not like I can upgrade my ship or do anything like that right now. So I think we just go do the mission. Like, why wouldn't we? So I can't take Nia with me, but I do take Junie with me. The Solheim derelict fills the cockpit windows, all twisted plates and skeletal strutwork. You watched it in horror and fascination as Seraphin completed the approach, both of you silent in the presence of this decaying beast. Now, as you settle beside it, Seraphin is the first to break the silence. This thing is already dead, he shakes his head. It's a corpse, Sleeper. He nudges the ship closer, looking for a place to dock. I touch this thing too hard, it'll crumble into dust. Let's not do that. Seraphin does a little mock salute. Aye, aye, he rolls his eyes. Any other tips? It sure does, Sid. Take us up there. That's the bridge. Junie points toward one end of the ship, and both you and Seraphin turn around, having forgotten she was even in the cockpit. She hasn't said a word since you departed. She glances at both of your bemused faces. What? She looks away. Sorry, that's where we need to go. She stops pointing. Seraphin nods toward Junie. She's not wrong, Sleeper. The bridge would be a good start. To the bridge, then. Seraphin nods. Let's do it. Seraphin takes control of the ship, avoiding the debris field closer to the center of the wreck. He settles in position near a protrusion at the far end. This is as far as I'll go. Seraphin taps at the anchoring controls. We should be able to anchor the ship to those plates. You hear Junie begin to protest from behind you, but it's too late. Seraphin fires two python-tipped anchor lines at the nearest solid hull plates. The pythons slam into the plates, and despite their solid appearance, they instantly shatter. The fragments spin out across the wreck, slicing into other plates and building a spiraling storm of debris. Shit! Seraphin nudges the ship back and steadies it as the debris cascades across the surface of the wreck. The damage seems mostly superficial, but it underlines just how fragile the derelict is. I'm thinking that, Hermie. Let's not do that again, Junie glances between the two of you. The data core will be very fragile. We have to... We've got it, Seraphin snaps. He angrily unclips from his seat. Last thing I need is a backseat driver. He kicks off and glides past her into the corridor. Let's go. Junie nods sheepishly. Of course. You follow Seraphin down the passage with Junie close behind. As you reach the airlock, he's already angrily suiting up, his frustration evident. Keep your cool. Seraphin looks up. Yeah, he glances at Junie. No hard feelings, right? He checks the seals on his shoulders, but this is a job, not a social event. What? I'm only doing this for the socialization, because I'm an isolated, introverted machinist. The rest of the preparation process takes place in tense silence, each of you considering the delicate job ahead. You suit up too, though. You don't need a helmet to breathe. You slide one on and lock the seals for protection. This wreck isn't going to give up its salvage easily. It's a pretty good trick for salvaging ships to not need to breathe oxygen. The core should be near the bridge, maybe even inside it, but there's a lot of wreck here, and there might be good salvage tucked away in the cargo hold. Once the suits are on and the seals are checked, you cycle the lock and stare out the vast expanse of the twisted hulk before you. Time to go to work. Okay, so I've got the airlock or the depressurized bay. So let's go for the bridge. I guess they said to try it. And let's see what we have here. We have an engineering skill check and a whatever the fast forward button is that Seraphin's reasonable at. So this one, it starts with 2 stress, which is unfortunate. %, Hermie. She's so good at it. Alright, let's just go Hondo. Hondo. Easy. Did it. Go. Alright, we just need one more. So he can get this pretty easily here. Force the lock. We got it. No big deal. The bridge of the derelict lies silent. The pale beams of your suit lamps catch rows of terminals and clouds of glittering dust. Wires wave like seaweed, and the whole scene appears as if underwater, chaotic, but still. Junie glides past you, disturbing the dust and taking you by surprise as she does. She has been a stoic presence so far, but in this moment, she seems drawn forward by some force of curiosity. You watch as she bats away debris and begins checking terminals. Let her work. She's already prying an access panel off one of the more intact-looking terminals. And as she does, puffs of rust color the vacuum around her red. Approach her. She turns back to the terminal and finishes prying off the plate. Then, quickly, she reaches inside, fishing around for something. Her hand comes back with a waving cable topped with a thick connector. As soon as she sees it, she slips a keyboard-sized deck out from somewhere on her person. She runs her hand across the back until she finds the right port and slots in the connector. All of this happens in a few seconds, the routine practiced and precise. It's hard not to be impressed. Not nicely done. We'll see, she says so quietly. It seems mostly to herself. Junie's fingers dance across the deck's keyboard, and a burst of static lights up the Solheim terminal screen. The sudden burst of light and color takes you by surprise. Junie's fingers tap away, the terminal's screen flashing with blocks of color and lines of code. It buzzes and vibrates, its long dead systems forced back into chaotic life. Then, all at once, it goes dark. The terminal is dead. Chit, Junie hisses beneath her breath. Useless. You cannot tell if the insult is directed at the terminal or herself. Find anything? She looks up at you, as if she was just waking up from a dream. No, she pauses, nothing useful. She protectively slides her deck away. The cradle with the data core can't be far. She pushes off from the terminal, gliding away from you. I'll start looking, she calls back, and heads off to the other side of the bridge. Seraphin glides up beside you. Everything all right? What do you think of Junie? The kid? Seraphin shrugs. You'd know better than me, keeps to herself. He squints at her retreating form. Seraphin stretches in his suit. I have to admit, it's nice to be back working, especially now that we're the ones who'll reap the benefits. He claps you on the shoulder. Feels good to be taking our fate into our own hands. I know it's pretty rough there, back on Hexport, and out here we're just as likely to get shredded by debris as find the damn data core. But aren't you glad we made a break for it? He pauses and looks down, having asked the question almost by accident. I mean, I am. I just don't want to speak for you. He really does, Sid. I'm glad we made a break for it. Seraphin smiles. You'd better be. I didn't give up that little dark side cupboard I was living in for nothing. He laughs at his own joke. Look, Seraphin checks his suit's wrist seals. Once we've got a bit of space behind us, once we've gone the distance, if we even manage to get that far, he furrows his brow, don't feel you owe me. I'm no charity case. You want us to go our separate ways? Fine, by me, he meets your eyes. Just do me the favor of telling me to my face. That won't happen. Seraphin nods but doesn't respond. After a moment, he shines his torch out into the dark, checking the rows of terminals all across the bridge. You watch the glittering dust as it eddies into the beam. Seraphin sighs. Let's get to it. You watch as he crosses the bridge, his torch probing the dark corners. You feel a chill run through your body as you imagine the people that once ran this ship, the Solheim crew, surely long dead. What was it like here before the collapse, when this system was the jewel in Solheim's crown? It's impossible to know. That history is lost to you now. All you can do is pick up what you can from the ruins. Indeed. So we found a new spot. So we're close to the data core. We want to get that, but I also want to go into the cargo hold too. This is not one that we're good at. Oh no, wait, she's good at it. 100%, Hermie. You and me are like peanut butter and jelly, buddy. However, if I find some better peanut butter, you're going in the trash pile. But for now, peas in the pod. Alright, so she's exceptional here. Do it. Pretty perfect indeed. +2. Seraphin can do this. It's a little risky. I knew you would blow it. I knew you would screw up. Okay, so a crisis will add 1 contract stress per cycle unless resolved. So we have some kind of crisis. But I don't know where the crisis is. I don't know how to resolve it. Well, most unfortunate. We gotta go back. Alright, so let's go here. Let's just finish this. And Junie got bad dice, but she's still good at this. The amount of times, I can't believe it, whatever, that I get that 25% on 75% is too many. Okay. I can do this, but why don't you... No. Sorry. Use your... this one. Alright, there we go. Much better. So now what I need to do is pray. Good. At least it was not a failure. And then let me use that. Pray again. Good. Now we just need one. And she's okay at this? 75% chance to get it. Got it. And we got the data core, or we got to the cradle anyway. Oh, there's the crisis. So I'd have to go through the cargo bay to get to the crisis so that we reduce the stress that we're getting every cycle. Woof. All I have are some ones, so it's not a really... You know, you're right, Hermie. We're going to. But it is going to give me more stress because of the crisis, unfortunately. I didn't mean to do that. I was just trying to go here. So now I think there's 2 crises? Yeah. How hard is the crisis to get rid of? The crisis is a shame. I'm wondering if I should just go straight for the data core and get out of here. Unfortunately, Seraphin has reasonable dice, but these are both terrible for him. We need 2 more. So if I give myself a little boost here. If I get a positive, we got it. Yes, we got it. You watch nervously as Junie guides the core out of the cradle. A large ball, almost half your height in diameter, it glides up out of the framework that held it, connections waving loose and cut. Her breathing comes through the suit's comms, loud enough to be picked up, and it fills you with tense energy as you watch. Over the course of this job, you've seen Junie both focused and distracted, nervous and precise, but you've not seen her any more confident than in this moment now. She floats beside the data core, handling it with care and skill, as if it was the vast egg of some endangered bird. She glances up and sees you watching her, and you notice something unfamiliar in her eyes, something that you have perhaps seen in a passing moment before, only now it is no momentary lapse or change. It is set in place. You see determination. She guides the core a little way away from you with one hand, and at the same time comes forward, almost placing herself between you and her prize. And it does seem to be hers in the way she handles it, the possessive way she screens it with her body. We need to talk. The statement comes flat and deadpan, any nervous tremble gone, right now. What are you doing? Sleeper, she takes a deep breath. I want to be honest with you, but I need to know you won't take this from me. Junie glances around the cradle defensively, but Seraphin is already heading back to the ship to prepare the cargo bay for the core's storage. You two are alone. Tell me and we'll see. Fine, she folds her arms, but it's staying with me. Karsten doesn't deserve this treasure, Sleeper. Junie glances over her shoulder at the core. Do you know how many of these are left intact? She shakes her head. And all he wants to do is wipe it clean so he can use it to interface with Hexport. All that data. Gone. So what do you want? I want to extract the data to make use of it. You see genuine emotion flicker in her eyes. She sighs. After extracting the data, the core will be unusable. There's a security system that will fry if data duplication is attempted. I could delay the security response long enough to copy the data, but after that, she trails off. You've done this before. She looks down. Yes, she meets your eye. This is why I came. Look at this place, Sleeper. She gestures to the cradle room, a dark and twisted cavern of long-dead tech. How many of these places are left? How many chances do we have to recover anything this old, this fragile? Like it or not, we live in Solheim's shadow in their ruins. And yet we know almost nothing. What chance do we have of understanding how we got here when others like them, like Senestat or Conway, are descending on this system? What can we learn from the core? I don't know, Sleeper, that's the point. She gestures around herself. We could learn our history and how the system was settled. We could learn better the technology we build our lives on. We could uncover Solheim's crimes and seek to make amends. She looks at you with pleading eyes. We could see beyond survival towards something else. I know. It's just like cargo hold logs for 10 years. You've never heard Junie speak like this, and you realize what you've taken for nervousness was actually control. This, the person in front of you, defending a decaying data core with their life, is the real Junie. But then you think of Lane, of the price he likely put on you and Seraphin's head, and of the feed lines, without which leaving Hexport would be almost impossible. Is this even a choice? Explain about the feed lines. Junie listens carefully as you tell her about the deal with Karsten, the feed lines he offered you, and that both you and Seraphin are on the run. Then I'll help you. Junie doesn't flinch. We find another way to get those feed lines. Karsten's an idiot. I can hack his security and you could pull them out of there, or Seraphin looks tough. Maybe he can grab them. She looks desperate. We can do it. We could do something. Don't you work for him? Junie glances away. Look, I knew you wouldn't take me if, she sighs. I might have misled you there. I knew he knew where the derelict was, and I heard your conversation. I've been keeping an eye on him. I know I lied, but I can help you. Let me strip the data from the core, and I promise to help you get the feed lines. She meets your eyes with intensity. It's a lot of information to take in at once. You need a second to think. I mean, but think about all we could learn. Maybe this system doesn't know anything about furries. Hermie, did you think of that? Maybe everything to be known about furries was going to be lost with this derelict. Let's do it. Thank you, Junie looks genuinely moved. This is a gift to all of us, Sleeper. I hope you'll see it like that. Junie turns to the data core, quickly gathering one of its loose connections. She takes out her deck and plugs it in, then crosses her legs and places it across them, floating tethered beside the core. Her fingers begin tapping at the keyboard, teasing out the core's data and whatever Solheim secrets it might contain. And as she does, Seraphim enters. He braces himself in the entryway. What's she doing? Junie doesn't seem to notice. Emptying the data. She's doing what? Seraphim jumps to attention, but you put a hand on his shoulder. He eyes you suspiciously. I hope you know what you're doing, Sleeper. He nods toward the core. That's our ticket out of Hexport. Junie will help us. If you say so. You both turn to watch Junie stripping the core of its secrets. A little while later, once the core has been emptied out, and its defense mechanism has scorched its seams black. You watch the metallic sphere spinning gently in the room and wonder if you've just made a terrible mistake. Contract failed, yikes. Well, so we could leave, but I could also find some stuff in here. Now again, I don't have great dice, but maybe he can get through. He can. We risk it. Try to get in, buddy. Good. Good one. Try it again. All you need is neutral. Hack in there. Darn. He says, I hate this shit. I know, man. You and me both. Alright, we gotta rest. So the stress is going to be really high. And we'll have one more chance at this before we fail. But I think we can maybe get in here. Oh. No, he got the worst dice possible. Oh, but I have okay dice. Okay, great. We're in. Alright, what's in here? So, she's good at this. She can wreck this. Alright, 2. Let's just take a guaranteed. What's this scrap survey? Good. So we got a new location discovered. The Deep Bays. This is what he is good at, but his dice are god-awful. Even if I use my 5s here, they're not very good. Of course I failed again. Alright, fine. We gotta go. I can't, whatever. Alright, so it's not looking good. Do it. Oh, it's unavailable. Okay, I gave myself stress for no reason. There is a horrifying lurch. You're sent spinning through the bay you were crossing in a hail of debris. You watch as the side of the bay silently tears open in front of you. A gaping black maw toothed with flying debris. You stare into it. Your breath heavy in your eyes, your ears, your eyes wide. Suddenly you feel a tug at your back, your tether. As you spin back from the sudden arrest of your glide, you see Seraphin holding onto the other end, reeling you toward him. We have to go, Sleeper. This place is done. You both make your way up through the splitting derelict in silence, charting a path through what were once passages but are now twisted tubes, like the intestinal tract of some dead creature. Eventually you make it to the surface and find the rig still tethered but gashed with debris and scars. We're gonna pay for this. He looks over the damage. Let's hope she still flies. Great. So I damaged it. I was really trying to just make extra money because I know I have to pay him. You tether together and push off from the hull. Seraphin guiding you through the debris. Below you, the derelict is exploding in slow motion, tearing apart into a swarm of razor-edged shards. I sure as help Junie is going to come through for us, Sleeper, you hear Seraphin on your private channel, because if you gave her that core for nothing, then this contract was the biggest waste of time I've ever seen. It's gone, Junie's voice comes through faintly over the comms. She must already be on the ship. Thankfully, we got the core. No shit, Seraphin answers back. Contract's a bust. What a waste, Junie says quietly, and then the channel clicks off. You arrive at the rig's airlock and bundle yourself inside, noticing the exterior damage. It looks mostly superficial, but it will no doubt take its toll on the ship. Once you're back to the cockpit, you look out at the derelict's shattered form. It seems you will be the last visitors. Alright. Let's get out of here. Oh. Oh yeah, there's nothing else to do. As you arrive into Hexport, Junie speaks up from the back of the cockpit. We're going to have to act fast if we want to take those feed lines. You and Seraphin exchange glances. You're both getting used to this new Junie. We, Seraphin raises an eyebrow. Only one of us fried the core and stole all its data. He shoots you a look. And for some reason we let you. It was the right call. Was it? Well, I'm reassured. I don't think Karsten's going to take kindly to the idea that we brought someone pretending to work for him on the job and let her have his prize. He shoots Junie a look. Do you even know what she's up to? Junie looks between the two of you. Hexport hasn't exactly been kind to me. You two trusted me, even though I didn't deserve it. I'm not used to that. I want to repay it. Not to mention that Karsten is probably ripping you off. Even if you get enough cryo, what's to say he won't raise the price? Trust me, he's no good. I was trying to deal with Karsten to get those derelict coordinates from the moment I arrived here, and he ran me in circles. She shakes her head. Seraphin is watching her closely. Even if I do take you at your word, which, given everything, seems a little tough, how do we even do this? He raises an eyebrow. You're telling me we just drift in there and take the feed lines? Look, I get it. You don't trust me, she pauses. But what if you have a vested interest in this working out? Or what if I have a vested interest? There's nothing left for me here. And I don't much feel like hanging around and waiting for Karsten to figure out my involvement in all this. I need safe passage. You need the feed lines to grant it. She allows herself a smile. See where I'm going with this? Seraphin sighs. I don't like it, he pauses, but it makes sense. What do you think? We all get something. Exactly, Junie smiles. Let me prepare. I'll head to Factory Row, scope the place out. Meet me there, and we can work out a plan. She glances between the two of you. Trust me, we can find a way. We'll keep it simple. Clean. Simple is good. Agreed, Seraphin cuts in. His dark look betrays his concerns. I'll go scope out the bay we need in Factory Row. We should split up. Less likely for Karsten to suspect us. Meet me there in a few, and we could finish setting up. She's still working for Karsten. Here they are. The ones who destroyed the core, Karsten. Junie unclips from her seat, floating. I want to show you I can be trusted. That we can do this. She looks between the two of you. Believe that, please. And with that, she slips away down the passage toward the airlock and Hexport beyond. You look at Seraphin. I'm saying nothing, Sleeper. He unclips from his seat too. Either this is the kind of mess you have to go through to get out the other side, or it's the kind that you never escape. Either way, we're in it now. He leaves the cockpit. You stare at the chaotic lights of Hexport and wonder if anything the Starward Belt ever runs smoothly. Not really. We're really close to losing. But we have 126 credits and a dream. So we need to buy... Oh, no. You know what? We failed in the cargo bay, but we did get one cargo that we can actually sell down here. How much did they give us? 16. So we got 16 cryo extra. That's not bad. Alright, awesome. Well, you know, honestly, this game had good reviews, and I had never played the first one, so I was not sure at all what to expect. And I didn't know I was going to be getting into kind of like a text-based adventure with some, like a dice game built in, but it's a very unique title. It has a cool concept, good writing, nice atmosphere, and I'm glad to have tried it. However, it is indeed my bedtime, and I want to say, everyone, thank you so much for coming out to the stream and playing some Citizen Sleeper 2. We're going to be playing Thea, The Awakening some more tomorrow night, if you'd like to stop by and check it out. Sid, enjoy your dinner, my friend. Hermie, Alex, Heathrun, Aaron, Julian, Chef Smitty, everyone out there, take care. Mace, see you, my friend. Have a good one.